This is the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you as always from the Hobbit Hole Studio in Bobcaygeon. I'm Terry.
No, we don't have a show. No, I'm sorry, we have no intentions of having a show, and we don't have a show. We're just not having a show. Never mind what everybody says. We don't have a show.
I'm waiting for you to buy a trailer to put on in your backyard that we can call a recording studio.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Why not? A trailer, like
I'm going to buy a lottery
RV?
ticket and I'll win. That was so Stephen Colbert.
How
did you
big was that lottery?
No, but did you watch Stephen Colbert with the lottery tickets?
No.
Oh, one show he had his lottery ticket and said, "I've got the winning ticket," and showed it. And he goes, "And when I win, I'm sharing it with you." And of course, under his breath, 95.5. But next show he came in and goes, "Well, apparently, I didn't win, and I'm big enough to tell you that I should have won. In fact, I did win. This ticket was stolen from me." It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, the comedians do have a way of trying to make light of a very divided country. And Colbert is one of them, Bill Maher is another, Jimmy Kimmel, and a whole bunch of them that I follow. Seth Meyers, I think I follow as well. Let's go on to something else. And I think we're going to talk about Ukraine because I would like to be mindful at least one podcast a week that the war in Ukraine is still going on. We're past Thanksgiving in Canada. The American Thanksgiving is coming up. We'll be going into Christmas. And I'm mindful that while we're looking at turkeys, not each other, Jim, but while we're looking at having turkey dinners and getting together with family, there are families who had their lives totally destroyed and annihilated because somebody, not mentioning Putin, decided to do something like invade another country. Invade another country. And we forget that they're suffering in Ukraine, and the battle for freedom is waged first and foremost in Ukraine right now, not in the U.S., not in the elections, in Ukraine as we speak.
Yeah, and the sad thing about that is Russia is targeting all the infrastructure. So you got freezing people, you got people without clean water, on top of bombs falling on their heads, and it's just cruelty above cruelty. And this is the way in which who knows, maybe all armies, but I don't think so. But the Russian army for sure, under the direction of their commanders, that they just ruin nations. They go in and just destroy it. If they can't win, they'll level it. They say they love the people, but they destroy everything around them.
Well, I think the idea that it was a special operation, that then they were just going to eliminate Nazis, is far from laughable at this point. It's such a pathetic excuse for extermination.
Well, who was that minister we were talking about? He was in there in the interview 6 days before they invaded. And he
ensuring
they have no intentions of invading. Matter of fact, he said, we're actually pulling, as we speak, we're pulling our military back.
Meanwhile, you and I, just Joe Terry and Joe Jim, average people watching, could see, and Biden made sure that we got the satellite feed that showed all these weapons lined up along the border on train cars, ready to roll.
Yeah, they had no intentions of not going in.
No.
They were going to go in no matter what. And I think Putin's a sick puppy mentally, sick with power maybe, but sick. And he's making a lot of people's lives hell. And one of my big concerns, I mentioned it to you, and you have a bet with me, a coffee. We're big spenders. That Trump won't.
That's a small coffee.
That Trump won't get in again. I'm not so sure. And if Trump gets in again, if the GOP takes control, I've got a feeling they just may, because Trump's a vengeance kind of guy.
He is.
He might just pull completely out of the Ukraine and leave the rest of NATO to have to help. Mm-hmm. And is he that much of a PR to do that? Yeah, he is. He actually is. Because he likes revenge on everybody that didn't support him. He's the ultimate power-hungry human in my sight. In what I'm thinking.
Remember, he was impeached the first time for his perfect call to Zelensky.
Yeah, when he was shaking him down.
The quid pro quo call, the perfect call, as Trump
Yeah.
likes to say.
And he'd love an opportunity to get back at Ukraine because he likes to put fear in people.
Yep.
So, everybody that goes against him, Pelosi for one.
Yes.
Liz Cheney, another. If he can destroy their lives completely, he will. And I do not admire a man like that, Terry.
No.
I just don't like it. So I'm concerned about the election in the United States because I'm concerned about the poor people of Ukraine.
I'm concerned that Republicans, I know they're not a pale comparison to what they were as a party, totally taken over by conspiracy nut jobs, why they would choose Trump. So when you say he's going to win, I'm saying, first of all, he has to be selected.
Yeah.
Is there no one, please, no honorable Republican left? Not even a Mitt Romney?
They're obviously, listen, Trump continued to say some bad things just recently about Pelosi as well.
Yes.
Nobody on the GOP is coming to...
Not one.
Not one is offering sympathy or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. That is sick.
Yes.
And it's a problem we're in. I am totally concerned about the fact that Trump's power, he's got great power and he's wielding it. And when he gets in again, and I hope that's wrong, he'll eliminate any sense of legal anything because he's got too many things in the bag. He will make sure that him and his little family are looked after, and to hell with America. He'll just be a puppet of Putin or whoever else.
King Trump.
Whoever else can make him a oligarch.
Well, you hear Trump wanted to call Xi from China king because now Xi's in there for a lifetime appointment or something.
Well, I believe Trump wants to be king.
Yep.
That's what I believe. I may be wrong, but this is what I observe. Yeah. And the revenge, the Lord says, revenge is mine. Don't be seeking revenge. And all I see in him is, especially when he destroyed the life of the ambassador to Ukraine,
yes,
simply because she wouldn't do something corrupt. And even she said, I can understand. It's his pleasure to replace me.
Yep.
I don't know why he wanted to destroy me. I have no idea why he wants to destroy me. Which he did. She's gone.
Yeah, big difference between replace, which is legitimate exercise of executive power, and destroy, which is not a legitimate use of executive power.
Yeah. So he's a vengeful man. And yes, do I think he would abandon a whole nation? Like Ukraine? Yeah, I do. I think he'd do that just to say you should have been with me in the beginning. And that's just, I don't like him. So
yeah, well,
so Ukraine is going to be suffering with major power outs.
The winter is coming.
And it's like us here in Canada.
Yeah, it just turned overnight. Here we got that big frost last night. It was -5 or something here. It was awful. So the weather changes, and what does that do to? They're in their trenches. It's almost like World War I style defenses and offenses.
But not to mention the people themselves. Like we see the major capital city, and it's still sort of a remnant of.
But it's been hit hundreds of times already.
I know, but there's other cities outside that have been leveled, completely leveled, and with no mercy whatsoever. Completely signs of torture.
Yes.
I mean, why you want to torture civilians?
Bucha and Mariupol. Two that come to mind. Yeah, there's going to be a great accounting at the end of this. And did you see that there was a tendency to look for diplomatic channels this week? Have you been following that?
No.
Yeah, so there's something going on there that I'm not sure about. I'm sort of looking for clues. Do you think anyone other than Ukraine should determine when and how this war winds down?
No, it's their country that's been invaded. I think we should help like we've been doing. I think it sends a message to Russia that you're not as powerful as you thought you were, because obviously they had really lackadaisical training and stuff, and maybe Putin didn't know that, but the generals would have. But to get help, we got to be in there to be able to help them. We got to make sure we know what we're supporting. But Ukraine needs to be able to make those determinations. You can't say, okay, Ukraine, we
deal with Putin now.
Yeah, we want you to now just forfeit those 4 provinces.
Yeah.
Well, would we want to say, okay, the United States is mad at us, so let's give them Quebec, or Saskatchewan, just give it to them. Yeah.
Alberta.
And we're supposed to live with that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so That's in the news as well, is that there's some diplomatic channels going on, and whether anyone, EU or US, should establish the exit. I don't think so. Ukraine should establish the exit.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to happen without USSR, Russia, USSR.
I make that mistake.
Get out of all the 4 territories and Crimea.
Yeah.
Back to pre-2014. The Jim and Terry Show, musing upon world events. Bye-bye for now.